Hi Rubies family, and welcome back to our channel. My name is Cecilia and I am the head of the media department for Rubies. So today I'll be talking about one of the most talked about topics in Rubies, which is single and waiting. So we've talked about this on our blogs, which you can get at www.rubiesmagazine.co.ke, or we've also talked about it on our Facebook, on our magazine itself, and we've talked about the importance of waiting, and we've talked about why we should wait. But one of the major things that's lacking is what we should do in this time of waiting. I was asking the Lord, I have all this free time. What am I supposed to do with all this time that I have? And the Lord is very faithful to answer our prayers. And He put in my heart to join ministry. And there are so many kinds of ministry that we could join. And most of the young ladies who are single, who I find, they say they don't know where they're going to fit in ministry. They wonder, I'm not good at speech, I cannot teach people, and so I'm just going to break down the type of ministries that, us single women can indulge in. There's a Bible verse in, I think, 1 Corinthians 10 that talks about, in whatever you do, whether you drink or eat, do it all for the glory of God. And so ministry is one of the ways that we could, just find our touch with Jesus. And there's a story that we used to be told when we were children about Rapunzel. And Rapunzel used to sit on her tower, and she would let down her hair and she would sing from the window of her tower, and she would wait for her Prince Charming to come. And that is not supposed to be the case for us Christian women who are waiting to be married. We're not supposed to be sitting on a tower with our hair down and singing in the window, just waiting for someone to come. No, we are supposed to be working diligently for the Lord, for the Christ who created us. And that's what I'd like to encourage us. And so let's break down all the kinds of ministry that we could participate in. Let's start with the major one, the one that people feel like it's the major. Well, all ministry is the same to me, but they have different functions. So the ministry of teaching. I'm sorry, I'll be looking at my phone because I wrote some notes here. Sorry. So the ministry of teaching. People feel like to be a teacher, you have to go through a Bible college and learn a couple of things about theology, when truly it's just the same principle. What you get in, you have to give it back out. If you have been a seeker of truth and you've been pursuing truth by reading your Bible and learning from good teachers, then you should be able to give it out as well. Discipling younger women is something that the Bible talks about in Titus and 1 Timothy, that the older women should teach the younger women. And so if I need to teach ladies who are in high school, I would, because I have learned and I'm a seeker of truth. So ladies who are out there who feel like they don't know what to do, you can teach your younger sisters. You can teach the little high school girls who come out from holidays and they just don't know what to do. It's your job to teach them. Another ministry that personally I truly enjoy would be the ministry of prayer. I love to pray. It helps me ease out some of my tension. And when I first got born again, I was told about having a prayer partner. And I was going around everywhere to ask someone if they had a prayer partner so that they could be my prayer partner, when truly it wasn't what I needed at the time. Yet prayer partners are the most awesome thing. I have a prayer partner myself, and she helps me a lot with a lot of prayer. But also, you can just pray to God and ask Him, God, who can I pray for? Interceding for others helps a lot. Or you can just walk up to somebody, whether it's at church or whether it's at home or wherever you are, and you just ask them, how can I pray for you? It blesses people so much that you care about them, and you can pray for them there, or you can keep a prayer journal where when someone asks, someone asks you to pray for them for something, you can write it down and you can help them pray. Well, that's one of them. Another one is the ministry of listening. I know I'm like rushing through this, but bear with me. The ministry of listening. This is where I fail a lot. I'm not the best of listeners. I truly am not. And that's why at Rubies we're so blessed to have our editor, Mrs. Osoro, who helps us a lot. She is a good listener. And I'm sure she didn't start this when she was married. She started this in her single life before she got married. And single women who have this loving and touching gift to be able to listen to others, you should use this to bless others. Sometimes all people need is just someone to comfort them by just sitting and listening. It could be spending hours with them on the phone, just listening to what they have to say, or sitting at the bedside when they're sick, or taking long walks, or just having tea and talking. And that helps a lot. Personally, it helps me because I am more of a talker than a listener. And so when I find someone who listens to me, I could be able to pour out some of my burdens and feel like someone is helping me with it. Truly, it helps. Another ministry would be the one that we have been lied to as single women. We have been told that the ministry of hospitality, we should leave it only for the wives. Like the wives are the ones who get this divine calling themselves. No, we're all supposed to be hospitable. One of the most hospitable women I know is my mother. My mother, the other day, some workers were fixing our windows at our home. And she quickly made some food for them and invited them into her house, which is our house. She invited them into our house and she gave them food, and it was an opportunity for her to share the gospel with them. And they were so blessed. They were eating like they've never eaten before in their lives. They were so blessed by the fact that somebody could just invite them in to have food. It was really good. And it doesn't mean that when you're hospitable, you throw feasts every single weekend. No, it could be just simple things like, making soup for a sick person. Or if you see, maybe your brother is in school and you just want to bless him and you make him a cake and take him some cake to school. It could just the little things that we do to people that make them feel like they're welcome. It doesn't have to be a big thing. I know that would be an excuse for you single women to say, oh no, me, I can't cook. No. You can be hospitable in different ways. The next ministry that I truly indulge in now, I've been dipping my fingers in all these kinds of ministry, prayer and hospitality and teaching. I've been dipping my finger in all of these. But the one that I truly dived in when I first got born again is the ministry of service. So there's a verse in, is it 1 Corinthians 15:58 that says, in all your works, do it unto the Lord because you know your work is not in vain. And so that was my verse that made me, indulge into ministry a whole lot, ministry of service a lot. I loved it. I was working day and night diligently because I knew that my work is not in vain and that it helped me a lot. Serving God has a thing that it does to you that you just become joyful. And so I truly enjoyed my ministry of service. And as single women, sometimes we can, sit around and just complain about how we're not getting husbands. Do something. There's one of the ladies at who I talked to a lot said something to me a couple of years back. She said, be so much lost in Jesus that if someone wants to find you, they have to find Jesus. And the ministry of service is one of the major ways that you could do this. Another ministry, which personally, my sister is so good at this, my older sister. The ministry of encouragement. Okay, so she has a gift of encouraging people by just writing a postcard and sending it to you. She sometimes writes letters to people. And personally, I have received, I think, about 2 letters from her, and they were so uplifting. Sometimes you may not be the best with talking or listening, but you can be really good at writing. And so you can write down a letter or a postcard and just send it to someone, whether it be just a scripture or just something encouraging to say to them, or just an appreciation for who they are. It really blesses a lot of people. I know it does for me. When someone writes me a postcard, it helps me a lot. And sometimes, God can use you to bless somebody else like this. You may not know what they're going through, but you can just give them a verse that would speak volumes to them. And so I would like to encourage us to do this. Another thing that I really like to just to throw out there is, in Colossians it talks about in everything we do, we have to do it as unto the Lord. And so it doesn't matter if you are indulging in all of these things that I'm saying, if you're not doing it as unto the Lord. If it's just for people to see, then it'll grow frustrating after a while. It really will. You need to tap into the ultimate source of strength and joy, and who is our Lord Jesus Christ. And He would give you the joy to be able to listen to people for hours. He'll give you the strength to be able to go out and serve people. And sometimes people can be very frustrating and very annoying. I'm sorry to say, people can be very annoying. And the Bible is very, very clear that we grow weary. We really do, and we get tired sometimes, but God is faithful to give us strength in all that we do. And I would like to encourage all my single friends out there, all my single sisters, that being single is not a burden. You have so much time on your hands. You wouldn't even... I have stayed around a couple of married women, and they always advise me that since you're single, pick up some things to do, because when you get married and you get children, your life becomes packed up. And as a single woman, just get lost in serving the Lord, because He served us first. He did. He really served us. He died on the cross for us, and He was the ultimate example of who our servant is, and we should follow in His footsteps. And that's what discipleship was all about. And so I'd like to end there. You can follow us on our social media platforms at Rubies Magazine, on Facebook, on Twitter we are Magazine Rubies, and on Instagram we're rubies.magazine. And remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel and like our videos, and also share. See you next time. Bye bye.